I know for a lot of people who have shared their story with me, you feel like you cannot advance in your career because you turn red. Hey everybody, welcome back to Blushing Phoenix. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm April. And if you are returning, welcome back. I know a while ago I mentioned to you guys that I had this really cool opportunity to do an interview for Fortune magazine. Look it. Okay, Fortune. This is how I keep showing it to everybody. All right, see? Fortune magazine. Oh, do we know who this is? Bill Gates. In Fortune magazine. Bill Gates. Now hold please. Have to flip all the way to the back. Hold on. Oh, do we know who this is? That's me with my blonde hair. Speaking about living your truth in the workplace. How this financial services company gives women a seat and a voice at the table, y'all. So this is pretty cool, a pretty cool accomplishment. Really proud of this and just having the opportunity to speak on behalf of women as a woman. So there's that. What I really want to talk to you about today is turning red in the workplace. I know for a lot of people who have shared their story with me, you feel like you cannot advance in your career because you turn red. Think about this though. Is it truly that you cannot advance, or is it because you think you cannot advance? Let me tell you, it's probably because you think you can't advance. I am here to tell you that this only happened for me because of the positioning that I have at my company. I am a chief officer. I'm a chief people officer at a company. And we have an incredible marketing team, and our brand manager, she actually created this opportunity and dug it up for me and then put me on the platform to be able to talk. However, I am a person who deals with erythrophobia and chronic blushing, specifically for me on my chest, on my neck. And so being in front of people is really difficult if I let my head take over. I know that so much of this condition has to do with our psychological approach to it. I mean, think about what erythrophobia is. Erythrophobia is the fear of turning red. For a lot of people who I've talked to, they have erythrophobia, but they don't blush all the time. It's just the fact that they are afraid they are going to turn red in front of a group of people or a person, and it's going to create this vulnerable space where they feel and look weak. It's how it's interpreted, that you are weak, that you are anxious or overwhelmed or intimidated by something. Not true. It is the meaning that we've assigned to it. So for myself, I can't tell you how often I would rather just stay behind the scenes and not be seen and not have to deal with this whole idea of, let me move some things to see the dark over here, and not have to deal with this whole idea of I'm going to turn red and this is what they're going to think about me. I have tried to hide. I've tried to go behind the scenes, and I get called out and pulled out to the front and center. Again, because for a lot of us, that's where we're meant to be. There are a lot of people who are meant to be behind the scenes. That's where they thrive. That's where their gifting comes out. But then there's others who their true gifting comes out among other people. And whether that's in one-on-ones or that's in group settings, for me in my career, I did not look to get to the top. I showed up to a company to really be behind the scenes, pour into the job in front of me, and I was seen and moved throughout the organization based on my previous experience in the workplace, but also because of the value that I was bringing to that company. And I think a huge part of that elevation is because I am an effective communicator, and that helped move me into a position in the top tier of the hierarchy of this company. So with that said, for those of you who feel that you cannot advance in your careers because you turn red, yes, you can. And I know that that's easier said than done. Like, just stop thinking about it. It doesn't work that way. You can't just stop thinking about it and then your brain goes, okay, I'll stop thinking about it. Wish that was the case. Wouldn't that be easy, huh? But it's not about you just stopping to think about it. It's starting to assign new meaning to it. Like for me, I have an overactive nervous system. That makes my skin turn splotchy and red. There's nothing I can do about it. It happens when it wants to, not when I want it to, not when I don't want it to. It's gonna happen. So if I assign my identity to that redness, I am going to keep myself small because I believe that I am not able to advance because I turn red and what that's going to make other people think about me. When we reassign that meaning to this is my overactive nervous system and it's how it reacts to certain things in the environment, certain psychological things, it doesn't mean I'm weak or scared or anxious. That's not at all what it means. I get to decide what the meaning is. Other people may assign something to it as well. They may have their own meaning for what it is, but do they not do that to us in general anyway? Like, have you not found yourself in a position where you're explaining your heart and your intent and all these different things because somebody misconstrued something that you did or something that you said? People are assigning meaning to things all the time about us, about me, about you. And I mean, look at some of my videos. I get thumbs down, I get certain comments on my videos because it's not for everybody. But for the majority, they understand what's happening here. And that's going to happen in your life, whether you turn red or not. So with erythrophobia, that is us fearing that turning red, that it's going to mean something, that it's going to have this like cause and effect situation. And it does, because that's what erythrophobia is. I stopped trying to look for the solutions. You guys hear me talk about this a lot. Stop trying to look for like, what is the solution? What's the solution? And started empowering myself in the sense of, this is my overactive nervous system. Here's why it's happening as far as I know. Here's what I can do to calm it down. And then maybe explain it if it's happening. For me, because I am a chest and neck flusher, you guys know I can wear higher neck shirts. We've had this whole debate about how the neck chest flushers and the face blushers that we win because we can actually cover it up if we want to, but it still splotches up the side of my face. It still gets on my cheeks a little bit. So it's not about us comparing ourselves to each other. That does help me with my confidence when I do get to wear a higher neck shirt. But let me see in this, well, let's see what happened here. Even in this picture, I don't have a super high neck shirt on, and you may not be able to see it here, but in this picture, my neck is really red in that picture. All right, our quality is going to be a little bit different here because I had to switch over to my phone because my camera died. But what I was saying is, yes, I could wear a higher neck shirt in that picture in particular. I didn't. I do have an option. I could do that. But think about when it's like the middle of summer and it's burning up and you're 1,000,000 degrees. And as we all know, heat makes it worse. So it still splotches up my face. It still makes my face red. We're not in comparison with each other. There are some things we can do to make ourselves feel better. And whatever that is for you, that's what you have to do. So for me specifically, because this can create such a reaction because it's splotchy and it's not just normal blushing, it's splotchy and looks like an allergic reaction. There are a lot of times, especially if I'm going to be doing public speaking, that I do keep that part of me covered. I'm going to insert, I'm trying to think if I can do a clip. I'll probably just have to add the link in below. It is me doing my first TV interview in regards to my book back in 2017, I believe. And I want you to see the presence of me, the way I'm speaking on camera, and the way it looks like I'm so incredibly confident. But you'll also notice I have a scarf on. And yes, the scarf helped cover this part of me because this is the part that really starts to react really bad. That can look kind of crazy. But once it aired, what I realized is that actually the way the cameras were set up and the way like this is shadowed in that environment, I don't even think you would have seen it if you, and I know I had it up my face and stuff, but you don't see that on camera because a lot of times when you're on camera, it comes across differently. And I've said that with you guys when I'm showing you myself on camera, I'm like, it looks so much worse in person than it really does on this camera. So that is part of that too, is that I was terrified to do that interview, that feeling of I'm going to turn red, but I had such an important message to share that I did it anyway. And I did make myself feel better by the shirt that I had or the scarf that I had on. But even then, yes, it can cover the bulk of it, but I know it's still creeping up the side of my face. I know it's still on my face a little bit. And as you guys can see, sorry, I'm getting text messages. As you guys can see, my hair is clearly shorter now. And in that video, my hair is a little bit longer, but I cut my hair short also knowing that it can expose me even more because I like my hair cut short. It's part of my personality and I feel like it's fun. So all of this to say, you are not hindered because you turn red. You are hindered because of how you think about yourself because you turn red, which goes back to shame. So I would just really encourage you and invite you to explore shame. And speaking of, I actually have a video coming up that is an interview that I did with a young man where he is talking about shame. And I think it's going to be really beneficial to you. So be sure to like this video if it's helpful and subscribe so that when I upload that video next week, you can check out what he has to say about shame and just hear more about our conversation in regards to shame and blushing. And I think it would be very beneficial to you. So with all of that said, those are my words for you today, my friends. Do you feel like you are holding yourself back because you turn red or because you're struggling with erythrophobia? If so, leave that in the comments below and let's talk about it. I'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, I'm so winded. For those of you who don't know, I'm 22 weeks pregnant. Let's get a belly shot here. Oh, there we go. We'll lower you. I'm trying not to drop the phone. There we are, little baby, 22 weeks pregnant. And I'm so winded all the time. So just from talking, I didn't do anything but talk. So anyway, I'll see you in my next video. You better be there or be square.